This tutorial will demonstrate how to use and manage WordPress widgets, which are a great way to add additional functionality using core WordPress features. If you haven't already noticed, you have a series of widgets that are already published by default in the WordPress site, including search, recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta. Your WordPress widget-ready areas are dependent on the theme you're using. To manage your widgets, return to the WordPress dashboard and go to the Appearance option in the toolbar and select Widgets from the flyout. You'll notice that you have a series of available widgets in WordPress by default that offer additional functionality. These include a lot of different options, and you should learn about them so you can offer the functionality that you'd like. You also have different widget-ready areas. For instance, in this theme we have the primary sidebar, which includes the widgets that we see on the front end of our site, including search, recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta. Again, these appear in the same order as they do on the front end in our sidebar. We also have the Content Sidebar widget-ready area in this theme, and if we'd like to move a widget from one widget-ready area to another, we can simply drag and drop them. We'll drag and drop recent posts and recent comments into our Content Sidebar. We also have the Footer widget-ready area, and we're going to move categories and our meta widgets into this widget-ready area. I'd like to completely delete the Archives widget from the primary sidebar, and to do so I'll select on the drop-down here and click on the Delete button. If I simply want to deactivate a widget, I could select it, as I'll do with this Search widget, and drag it down to the Inactive Widgets area. When moving widgets around like this, the changes will automatically occur on the front end of the site. So we'll return to the front end and refresh the page, and we'll notice how no more widgets appear in our primary sidebar, but how our recent posts and recent comments appear in our content sidebar. We can also scroll down the page to see that two widgets, our categories and meta content, appears in our footer. Remember, widget-ready areas are dependent on the theme that you're using. Let's return to the dashboard because I want to reactivate the search widget by dragging it back into the primary sidebar widget ready area. I also want to use my available widgets, this calendar widgets, to add a calendar feature to that primary sidebar. If I add a title in here, it's going to override the title, the default title of calendar, on the front end of the site. Let's go ahead and save this widget. If I return to the front end of the site and refresh the page, I'll see that the search widget has been added to the sidebar, as well as the calendar widget with the upcoming events title that I just created. Next, I want to show you how to use a different type of widget, and that's the text widget. I'm going to put a new text widget in my content sidebar area. The text widget is a very useful type of widget because you can customize text that appears within the widget. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create a title for this widget, which is Guitar Lessons, but instead of adding text into this widget, I want to show you how to embed a YouTube video. Embedding media like this is a very popular way of getting different types of content and media to your users through your website. I'll go to YouTube, where I've already located this beginner guitar lessons video that I'd like to embed into the widget. I'll click on the share button below the video, and the author of this video has already given permission to use this video. You may already have your own content too. I'll click on the embed button, which will give me this iframe code. The iframe code is something I'm going to want to copy so that I can paste that into the widget. By returning to the WordPress dashboard, I can then come to the text area within the text widget and paste in the iframe code. I'll click on the Save button below the widget to save it, and then I'll return to the front end of the WordPress site and refresh the page. Once I refresh, I'll notice that the video I embedded now appears in the content sidebar area of the theme that I'm using, and that WordPress has sized it down to a manageable size. There are many widgets in your WordPress site and a lot of documentation out there to learn how to use them. The next tutorial will demonstrate how to use WordPress plugins.